Yes. Um, Yesterday, we have concluded our class with a small discussion, right? Like the difference between globally distributed project team and the local project team. And if we have a set of people who are working together in the project from the same company, like from the local-based company, then we will not be having that many challenges. So whenever it is required, we can have a meeting and we can have a and when it is required, people shall be called for a meeting and that will be get recorded. Like as I told you about minutes or what is called proceeding. So people used to call this as proceedings or minutes of meeting. So what is the meaning of that? So at the end of the meeting, I mean during the meeting, at the end of the meeting, there will be a recording the important discussions, whatever that has been made during the meeting. So it is something also you can call it as like a proceedings of the meetings. So when the next meeting starts, I mean when the next meeting commences. So before starting with the discussion, they will be recalling. I mean they will be discussing on the conclusion that has been made with review made with meeting one. Have all the queries or all the discussions, whatever that has been discussed in review one. So I mean meeting review one has been done or not. So only then when it is done, they will be moving for the next meeting two. And thereby again at the end of meeting two, they will be coming out with minutes recorded. And if there are any discussion is required to be get clarified with client or some other stakeholders, this minutes of meeting will be get shared to a set of people. And even if they are responding to it or not responding to it, that is the other concern. But it is must ensure that it has to be get conveyed to all the stakeholders involved in the team. Fine. And next, the other one, we were talking about this global distributed project team, right? And it is quite challenging when you talk about global distributed project. And challenging thing is more technical thing as well as financial as well as marketing, everything. So here the most issue will be like technical feasibility. We can't expect a technical feasibility in this kind of project. The reason is that the first issue will be since it is a global distributed, I can't assure that the people who has been involved in both the companies will be working at the same time. And that is the first thing. The company, I mean, the one who is in India, maybe, I mean, different countries may be having a different time zone. And second thing, it is fortunately like it is not possible for not possible, but both of teams to meet and just get that get to meet again and get the things done with the discussion. So that is the other thing which is not at all possible, right? So it's highly impossible to do. And third thing, in case if it is required, if there is an urgency or emergency, so in case if it is an urgency or emergency, like where both team has to get discuss about anything in the project. So by during that time, they can't. I mean, they will not be able to get the things done, right? So if people want to get meet officially or unofficially, then at least for them it requires 2 to 3 months planning, at least 1 month planning in prior ahead. Else, getting a visa approved and getting all the things done will not be that much easy task. And again, it will increase the budget level where you can't expect the budget whatever that you have planned. And moreover to that, the number of days and the planned schedule days will be keep on increasing. Right? So this is the challenges with globally distributed project and the normal local setup project. And let us talk about this technical feasibility study. And the first one, location of the project. Okay. So irrespective of the location, I mean, irrespective of the data regarding the location is very most important for a project. So it may be located in rural or urban or semi-urban areas. As I told you earlier, I can't open a supermarket or a shopping complex near to an like rural area, right? So that will not get result. That will not result me with a good profit. But whereas when you talk about something like even an IT company. I cannot make my company to be get located in a remote area. So even though by budget wise it is a little bit less, but that is not always, appreciable. The reason is that the one thing you should make sure that our clients and the people who has been working in the company and everyone should be flexible to get into company. So then only your company will be having a good contact, a good in touch with the people of both the domains. And next, similarly, when it is being located in a commercial place, it will be having good scope when comparing to the other places. So scope is also more important, right? And second, construction of company building and its size. So before planning to start a company, first you need to have a continuous thorough requirement study. That was I was telling you. You need to study the set of things where you can start establish your company, and also you can talk about what are the things that you require when you start your company, and where you can establish your company, and initially how many set of people are being involved in your company. And once if you are done with the project, then how far you are going to show progress in the company. So what is the size of the project? What is the size of the team? And if you are being an entrepreneur, initially you need to look after into too many budget issues, right? So too many budget issues like you need to take care about complete investment regarding to infrastructure. And similarly, you need to take care about the complete investment that you require for machines, the materials as well as human resources and everything. So this is quite challenging and complex task, right? And next to this, availability of raw materials. See, the study of what is called like raw materials. So if you, I told you one more statement last class. So if I start my company, I need to focus my result to the future, right? So if I start my company by the next week, and the outcome, the result which I'm going to, the result which I'm going to get from my project, get from my company, sorry, get from my project, and if it is a kind of product, so if it is a product, so the day when the company was started, the next day I will not be able to produce the product, right? So it needs some time to produce a product, maybe 3 to 6 months, depending on the product. So in that case, if the company loses its demand, the product loses its demand the next period of 6 months, and if you come out with that particular product and then later on 6 months, then your product will be completely losing its position in the market. You will not be able to compete with other business firms in the market. Okay, so availability of raw materials. You should plan in such a way that what are the raw materials that is required for your company to start. So all the materials should be get prepared. You should find the ways to collect and gather all the raw materials, and thereby then you can start proceeding with the next step. I mean to say, like first, if you start constructing a building, you should make sure that you need the strong foundation. That should be done first. And if you don't have that idea of doing it, then you will not be able to construct even a single floor. So we need to have a thorough study on the requirements, how we are going to fulfill the things, how we are going to manage the things. And next will be a selection of machinery. So selection of machinery. So it is again the intent. The intentional main goal of this selection of machineries. So what are, if I start an IT company? If, let me take an example. I've created. My goal is to start an IT firm. So initially, I can't go and purchase a server at a soft cost nearly 20 to 25 lakhs, right? So that shall be done once if my company gets a good reputation in the market. Like you know about the CMM level 5 companies, right? Capability, maturity model level companies. So level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 companies. Or when your company, like as an MNC company, which has been renowned throughout the world. So then those cases, we can invest as much as possible. But being a small business firm, we will not be able to do the investment. So doing investment in this stage, in this category, in this stage is quite complicated. So what are the cost sources of supply, and how far you are going to evaluate, the technology evaluation of mission. So what are the goods and bads, and what are the pros and cons? Everything we need to have thorough look on it. And next, moreover, then toward when there is a technical advancement, when the new technologies are being emerged in the market, then your company and your set of people in the set of people team should be in a position to cope up with the technology and to proceed further with the current technology or with the technology that is having demand in the market. And if you're unable to move with this advanced technologies, then it is quite impossible to get succeed in the market. Okay, and utilities. So these are some supporting things that are required in running the company or in managing the institution, like water, gas, electricity, petrol, diesel, etc. So if you plan to start a small business from like an IT company, the first thing we need think about us like people, project, missions, right? So first you need systems, computers. Second, you need people, and third, you need infrastructure for it. Okay, and later on you can talk about how we are going to accommodate people and how we are going to provide them traveling. These things you can talk later on. And you need a certain space for to have a client interaction, like a discussion room. You can call even like a conference hall or a meeting room. And how far the things that is required, the basic things that is required are like water, gas, electricity, petrol, diesel, and this kind of resources. All these are basic things that is required for a company. And also, please make sure that these things are accessible near to the company. That is quite most important. Okay, at any time it should be accessible for you to get all these important utilities. It should not be like if you want to get this, you need to place an order by today, and in the next later on, like 2 to 3 days later, you will be getting the item. That is not the discussion that you're talking about. So whenever you are required, whenever you are in need of the utilities, at any time, it should be happen. So at any time when it is required, you should be able to get it done. You should be able to get it done. You should be able to get it done, right? So when it is required, like gas or water electricity, it should be flexible for you to get the things. You should, or like your company, the industry should be located in such a way, right? Which is accessible to all sort of things. And next, the production capacity. So production capacity, you need to analyze the complete study. You need to analyze the complete study on the establishment of production capacity and how are you going to utilize the same thing. Like you need a complete, you need a right project plan, and moreover to it planning, you need to track and monitor it. And just only by planning will not make you to be successful, right? So planning along with tracking and control only will be make successful. So only thereby you can make the activities to get succeed. Else the activities, even the things that you have done may be having a good demand, but you will not be able to get success. So staff requirements, so study and analysis of requirement of workers. So instead of having, I can tell you a small example. So if I have demand in my project like Visual Basic. So if I have a set of people in my work on this. So instead of having like a 20 number of people who can work, but having a good number of technical people is more important quite than the number of workers in a company. So number of workers, if they are 20 to 25, let me take as 25. If there are 25 in a company, and technically if there are only 10 people are strong to work in a team, So then this 10 people, only 10 people will be working, and other 15 people will be getting help from them 10 people, and they will be working. So this is not going to make the thing successful. At least you need 20 people to be technically good when it is 25. I mean 80, at least 80% of the people. And it is it is always suggested to go for like having the right candidate for the right position. Instead of having the more number of candidates, you can have the less number of candidates. But we should make sure that those less number of candidates has the technical competency, that whatever the company is required or whatever the company is expecting, the technical competency should be there. And for this, again, we have something called recruitment process, right? How can make staffing? What is the process that shall be followed in recruiting a person? So, how to start an advertisement like job notification? Then, how can you get resumes? And then how can you shortlist those resumes? And after shortlisting, how can you intimate them? And what is the process to conduct interview? Once that is interview is done, then they will be giving an offer with the continue with HR policies and all these things, right? So in this way, the strong connection can be get established between the set of people. I mean, between the team and between the um company, like employee and the employer. So staffing is a more important task. So that is human resource. So managing human resource, again, it is a challenging task. So where a set of people will be working on different projects or the different things. So all it has to be get all it has be to be discussed in a clear, proper manner. That is staff requirement. And this kind of things are not only just for discussion for like the small IT industry. This is a matter for whatever the company that you plan to start, whatever it can be of business. It can be a small level business. It can be even a middle scale. It can be a large scale. So it can be any scale level of company. So these are the challenges that you may have to face. You may have to see look into it when it is getting into implementation and technical feasibility study. First one, you can see that which we have discussed earlier. So as the availability if raw material, power and other inputs has been established. So we have talked about raw materials, right? So which is required as being a product. So if you want to design certain product or manufacture certain things, you need certain things from other company. Maybe from other company or it may be from other vendors. Only when that is done, when your project will be done. Once when that is not done, your project will not be able to get complete. I mean to say you will not be able to make your project to be successful. Okay. So these are the few things. And again, the power, gas, electricity, all the utilities that are required, whatever that is required, the inputs has been established. And is the selected scale of operational optimal? So if are you doing it like if you plan to do it and if you plan to start or if you plan to do a small scale company or it can be large scale company, is it optimal in the meantime to start established in a company? You should have a study on the market, right? I was telling you like you should go with the SWOT analysis and you should have study on the market. So based on that, you can come to a decision like whether your industry, the business firm will be having a position in its market or not. If yes, we can proceed further. If no, we need to rethink before acting on it. There is one more term I can relate to this is called modeling. So modeling is a process of analyzing the requirements or analyzing the things in prior to implementation. You can call something like a blueprint or a simplification of reality. So just you are going to analyze and study how the things will be there when it gets into a real-time implementation. And is the production process chosen as suitable? And if I have done with the certain production process, I mean I need to take care about all the cost, selling price, profit, and everything. So if I was unable to make my profit, if I was unable to plan my cost of production cost in the right manner, then production wise I will be losing. Budget will be little but maybe heavy. But in turn, if you're not getting a profit outcome out of it, then it is completely waste. So whatever the business we do, in always we expect something in turn as return. Either we want some expected things, we want something like we will like be expecting some profit, or we will be expecting what I can call like something in turn return, some good position in the market, as well as we'll be expecting some profit in terms of like money. So if I invest, and usually if it is in my turn, like if I invest 10 lakhs for a project, I will be expecting 15 lakhs as return. I mean 10 lakhs, the one which has been invested, and plus 5 lakhs as profit. It should not be like investing 10 rupees and waiting for 1 rupee. And it should be more than that. If you are investing 10 rupees, you should get more than like 50% of it. If you're doing that, then if we have clear proper plan, it is able to get succeed in this case, right? So are the equipment and missions chosen or appropriate? Can I handle with the missions equipment that which has been chosen? So if I have been taken a mainframe computer for a company for initial business from which has been get established, that company does not require any kind of mainframe computers, supercomputer. Only unless and until if you have been proved your position, if you have a large complex project, then you need these kind of missions. Else it is not required to carry out this. So background study is quite most important. Only that will help you to understand what are the things that you want to implement from your side, like the equipment and missions, whatever that you require for the company. Have you selected or have you chosen it in the right manner, like appropriately? Have you done it? What I can say? Have you taken a right choice on the things? Okay. And you can see the next auxiliary equipment and supplementary engineering. So it is the meaning of this is secondary, right? So which if you want, if you are carrying out certain set of things where you need some certain secondary components. Also, you can call those things as an additional components. But supporting of those components may be quite important, maybe sometimes mandatory also. And in making your work to be get achieved, so you will be looking on some other works in parallelly to be done. So whatever that are done, as it have things could be done. So as provision made been made for a treatment of effluents. So this study also has to be done during this technical feasibility study. Is the proposed layout of the site, buildings and plant sound? It means uh, is that whatever the infrastructure, whatever the location that we have opted, and the building, either it can be own building or it can be a rented building. So is it having a good sound? It means like is it having a good future? I mean, is it having a good right one? So have you made with the right schedules has been realistically? This work schedule will be a problem when it is only a global distributed project. In all the other time, other things, it just will not be that much problem. And second thing, usually the office hours will be like 8 to 5. Right? And if you are having anything like 8 to 10 or an additional time like up to 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. in the night, then you need to consider about transportation facilities for employees. So if there are some circumstances where you want to think on those aspects, then you need to take care about the transportation facilities, and there will some refreshments to be given in the evening, like tea, coffee, snacks. So which will bring a small kind of refreshment and 10 to 15 minutes of break after the time, like after 4 to 5 hours of work. And is that technology proposed to be employed from social point of view? And the most quite important, but again, is technology. The the people who have been employed in a company in what technology they are good, and it should be better. It should be initially I should have been getting projects on those areas. And also, it will be good if you get a project, then if you go for recruiting people, so that you can have a right candidate who is being talented, who is having a strong grip on the technical language that in which you are looking. And second, in addition to it, and if it is a reputed company, or if you have been there in the market for a few years, and if you have got your company position to be good. So if you are that if your company is a reputed one, like if it is having a good TMM level, then almost you should have proved your position by showing some different projects successful manner. So those kind of company, what they can do is they can start training set of people. They can start providing training on the technology, training on the advanced tools and techniques. So that whereby they need not to have set of people like just flowing. So floating of people will not make anything to be success. It should be always at least one team, some 20 to 30% or 40, more than 50, 60% of people should be always there. Should not be the new one. And if there are more number of new, the new people getting in, and there are more number of people who is going out, then it will be always a floating. The company may not see a standard position in the market. There should be a set of people who will be like dedicatedly working towards the company's goal and objectives. Only then the company will get succeed. The company can move to the next position. Else, it is not quite possible to make the company to get move forward to the next level. Okay, so that's what I was telling you in prior. You can find when you get into a company, or it can be an institute, or it can be a college, it can be any business from location, and you can see a vision and mission of the company will be there. Similarly, you can find some objectives of the company, and a proper management is the one management is one who will make the people to work towards company objectives, right? People should make it succeed the company's objectives. So this can be get achieved only when the people start working dedicatedly, and they should be get motivated to reach the company's goal, and they should show their self-interest in doing the things, not by doing the things with forcefully. Even by doing, even making them to work forcefully, you can make the work to be get done, but that will be different. But you can find a difference in it. So both the ways, and where you can make the people to work dedicatedly with their self-interest. The other set will be like there will be people who can work on whom you can make work by forcefully, like where you can ask them to do certain things or certain work forcefully in a company. So in both the ways, you can make the work to be get done. But you can expect the good result when it is dedicatedly, when people work dedicatedly without forcefully. Company should bring certain kind of motivation among the employees. Okay. So once when the people or the employee was been in that company, when they start showing their interest, confidence level, and dedication towards in reaching the company's objective, almost they will be in the better position in the market. Okay. So the next will be financial feasibility study. Of course, this is the most important thing. Almost you can relate the things to a simple example which is known for you all, like a film shoot. And if we want to go for a film shoot, like let me take the top heroes and heroine of India. So if the movie is planned to take with like a Shah Rukh Khan and Aishwarya Rai, so then first you need to think about the producer, right? So moreover, then the importance will be given for a story as well as for production. So as importance will be of story and production. And moreover, to this based on the production, the story can get little bit variation, right? So you can see the production not only like the amount, not only like the budget which has been to be paid for the actor and actress, and not only that, then next we also think about the location. So I can't, and where is the place that has to be get located? And if it is any kind of a rural place, then it is not going to have that much cost. But when it is something located in abroad or in a most famous place in the city, then it requires a little more amount to be get expense. So production cost. So based on the finance and based on the production planning will be done certain activities. To be simple, like if we have some twin, if I want to just travel from, for example, like Bangalore to Mysore. So if I have some little amount of money, like some thousand rupees, if I have my own vehicle of, with 3,000 rupees, I can go with my own vehicle. And if I don't have that financiality, then I will be looking for alternative, like I will be moving for a train. Else I will be going for a bus. So it depends on our financial stability. We will be choosing the option which we will be fitting into our financial stability. And similarly, this financial feasibility study will help you to understand how financially you can be good at your company and how financially you can make your company to get promoted to the next level. Company should not get filled down financially. If it is get filling, if it is losing its position, if it is if you are unable to tackle the things financially, you may not expect a good profit from the company. You may not be able to make good revenue from the company. So financial feasibility study. So it is one of the most important aspect of business opportunity. That is, you can see an important aspect of a business niche opportunity. And the total capital cost of project. I was talking about the same thing earlier. When, as being an entrepreneur, if you start a small business firm, initially you will be the one you to concentrate on all the different aspects, right? So the investment to be made for infrastructure, the investment to be made for human resource, the investment to be made for materials, the investment to be made for the utilities, the investment to be made for getting the things initially done. So all that is a quite important thing. And managing this is again a financial phase, a financial thing. And again, the first, there is no assurance that the first project alone will make you to get more success. Maybe you may get some 10 to 15% profit, and sometimes it can be more than that. If it is more than that, then it is quite good and interesting. And if it is less than that, then it will not be that much good for you in promoting to the next level. So, the first initial step, initial establishment should have a complete study of the total expenses that you need in the market. And if your budget is 10 lakhs, as per this computation, like as per this study, if your budget is 10 lakhs, you should have 20 lakhs in your hand to start a company, or start this, or at least 15 lakhs to start this company. Or to be simple, I just plan to start an business from like uh, big masa. And if it requires 5 lakhs, I should have minimum more than that. And if the business firm requires 5 lakhs of investment, if you and at any time if things can get changed, you should have an additional amount of it. You should have an additional amount to make it to be successful. So if it is assured, it is not assured that only 5 lakhs will be sufficient for you to do. You should have double of the amount. If it is 5 lakhs, at least you should have some 8 lakhs uh, to get to avoid failures, to avoid losses. Maybe at later period of time you may get profit, but initially you need this much kind of investment. I hope it's clear. If your investment is 15 lakhs, you should have at least 25 lakhs in your hand before starting a company. So that 15 lakhs can be invested, 10 lakhs can be in hold. So whenever it is required, you can make use of that money until you get income profit intent from the company. So till that you can make your company to get managed. That is called like the important financial feasibility. And moreover to it, if I'm investing like a 10 lakhs in the company, at least I should get intern profit at least in the period of 6 months. It should not be like if I invest 10 lakhs today, I will be getting profit after 10 years. So that is not feasible. That is not feasible, and again, that is not being the right way of getting the profit from the company also. So the time period you choose to achieve this financial stability, it also should be feasible, right? And the financial stability is the most important pillar of a company, where the complete company completely rests on it. People will be calling it as like management, right? So management, where it is completely rest, where the company gets completely rest on its management, and each and every decision that management takes, that has then as important effect and throughout all the areas of the company, and throughout even all employees, and throughout all the different things in a company. So this is the importance of studying, getting into this financial feasibility study. Okay, I hope now you can understand what is the major role of financial in a company. Not only in a company, it can be for anything. It can be a simple example, like if you want to take food. So again, that is financially quite most important. If you have a huge money, good money, not huge money. If you have good money, you can take food in some good hotels. But if you have only just lesser than that, like a 10, 30, 40, 50 rupees, then you need to plan as ask hotels related to which can offer you food at a rate at which what you have, right? And even for the simple task like taking food, you need the financial stability. And if you plan to get some materials like raw materials which is required for a student, like a notebook, pen, pencil, and all these kind of things, then it is again a stationary. Then again the financial stability comes. So all these are most important financial terms. Okay. So financial feasibility study, financial stability. That is the first step where you need to get succeed in a company. And if you're able to get succeed in this, almost your company will be in a successful position. Okay. So this is an overview of this financial feasibility study. So in detail about this financial feasibility study, let us discuss in the next session.